market is strong.
I'll second that. This is Shannon. We had 5 listings that went live Friday, and we had by Sunday 45 showings, and I believe 3 of them have sold.
Awesome.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody else want to share something good, success story at home, in business? I'm personally am super excited. It looks like I have a few of you on here too. We welcomed 5 new agents in March. So really excited to introduce them to everybody today and welcome them to our market center. Steve, I know you have something good to share, but you're muted. Hold on, I'll unmute you. Okay, I unmuted.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Your smile is just lighting up the entire screen, so that's what I got.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right. That's great. No, we're doing well. Kate and I are here at the Highland office right now, and we continue to find our way into some new business. Meg is working really hard. Colleen had a sale last week. I think we've had 4 transactions in the last 10 days, so things are going well. I mean, it's a scary, different world we're all living in right now, but we're listening and learning from the experts about how to behave differently, and we're shifting. So far so good. We're crossing our fingers and getting up every morning and going to work.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you. Anybody else? Otherwise, I can go ahead and share my screen and move on.
The most closings ever in March, so they all closed on time or early, so that was good.
Congratulations. That's exciting.
Heather,
Yes,
am I supposed to be at this meeting, right?
absolutely.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
How are you, Linda? How are you, Linda?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. Have a little headache, but.
All right, you guys. Well, hello to everybody. Thank
Hello.
you so much for joining us. We are just sharing something good, but I want to make sure that we stay on time. So unless anybody else has an amazing story to share with us, we'll just kind of keep trucking along here so we can get to hearing from Jordan. All right, Jen, I know you're on the call and you had some things that you wanted to share with everybody today.
Yeah, actually, I'll let Matt go first, and then I just have it. Well, I'll start. I just wanted to say that, yeah, if anybody wants to reach out, the Zoom meetings, sharing each other's screens are going really well with new agents and just command trainings. So if you have any questions about any part of command, please reach out to me, and I'm happy to help and available that way. So I know Heather's trying to hold down on the group Zoom meetings, but individually that's working really well for people. So just wanted to invite you there. And then Matt wanted to talk quick. You might be muted.
There. Am I unmuted?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
Okay. Hey, everyone. Great to see you. Hey, I have come across a number of questions over the last couple weeks, and I just wanted to update everybody on them. The first one I've gotten quite a few times is, has FHA changed their minimum credit score limit? And the answer is no, they have not. Lenders have changed their minimum credit score on FHA loans. So depending on the lender you're working with, they may have changed that credit score limit. We're still at a 620. That's where I've always been. And we're still doing FHA loans at 620. The next thing I have is also, if you have a client, well, if you have someone who's purchasing, you're representing them as their buyer agent, just stay in touch with them. Ask them almost weekly, how's your job? Are you still working? I would say that that's the only thing that's causing issues in our world right now as far as closing loans. New American Funding just had a record month. We expect another one this month. We have 10 closings this week. So very busy. We are closing loans. They're getting done. we have received information from a number of lenders that they're not honoring locks, that they're not closing loans, that they're basically just saying, sorry, we can't do it. So please check with your buyers to see if they're working, and also verify with their lender that things are still moving along. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the idea of a forbearance or not making a payment during this time. And so there's been a lot of questions regarding that. And so what I wanted to do is just give you some information as far as where we are at. Is that if anyone for our company, if they ever have problems making a payment, check with your lender, discuss it with them. If you qualify, you can get a forbearance and not have to make a payment for 90 days, and it will not affect your credit. Now, here's where the confusion is after that 90 days or after our disaster of COVID is over and you're back at work or you're able to make payments, you would pay back the loan in full or pay back those payments you've not made in full, either in a lump sum at that time or over a 6-month period of time. So you still have to make the payments. It's not forgiven. It is not put on the back of your loan. They still have to make those payments. And that's the message I want you guys to get out there to all of your clients. There is confusion on that. A lot of people say, oh, they're just going to put it at the end. Maybe, but that's not the way most lenders are doing that. So you would want to check with the servicer, get clarification. If your clients do decide to do a forbearance, make sure they document the conversation they have with the servicer, who they spoke to, when they spoke to, what time it was when they had that conversation. So anyways, that's the stuff I have today. Anyone have questions for me? Lots has been going on in my world, and it sounds like the whole world. So does anyone have questions for us?
Matt, I do. This is Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon.
For people that have full-time jobs that are being furloughed, meaning they're not being fired, they'll have a job when they get back. How will that work, like in the middle of a transaction right now? And if it's somebody that gets furloughed, does that mean we push the closing date out? Does that mean if they have a letter stating they'll have a job that they can continue? What do we do in those cases?
Well, there's some stipulations that go with that. If they are continuing to receive paychecks, or if the company is guaranteeing some pay for a period of time, and they're going to get their job back after. One of the stipulations is if you have 6 months of reserves that they would move forward with that. If they are not working and you can't get any type of guarantees out of a company, you're going to have to push that closing until they're back at work.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Matt. Any other questions for Matt? If you do, go ahead and submit those into the chat box, and I can send those to Matt afterwards, and he'll get back to you to make sure he answers any questions you have.
Matt, what are interest rates doing right now?
Well, you know, they're actually very, very good. I think another piece of confusion is if they were really where they were supposed to be based on the bond market, we'd probably be under 3%, but they're not. I would say that with good credit, your rate is probably between maybe 3.375 and 3.875, depending on the program or the type of loan. But they're very, very good still. With refinances or what we're also seeing that if you're refinancing, the rate's going to be higher. If you're doing, let's say, a cash out refi or doing an investment property, that's where we're really seeing a big increase in interest rates that really don't flow with the market. So in that instance, it doesn't make sense, but that's what we've started to see. Also, one more thing, sorry. Many lenders are discontinuing rental loans. They're discontinuing, let's say, construction permanent loans. Also, some jumbo loans have been affected The other thing is, again, we've seen some lenders who have basically said, nope, we're not going to fund any loans. We're not going to take on any new business. If we had someone in the pipe, we can't do it. So really be in touch with your clients to make sure things are moving the way they're supposed to move.
Oh, yeah, no.
All right, perfect. Well, moving along, so again, if you have any questions for Matt, please submit them in the chat box and I'll make sure to send those over to him. Really quick, we have some really great upcoming trainings and events happening in April. We have Daily Prospecting, which is led by Shane Montoya and the Odd Couple team. This is Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 11. A great opportunity for you to script practice and just get on the phone and be making those care calls to your database. That's one of the most important things that we can be doing right now. Ignite starts today, this afternoon, and is going to run Tuesday through Thursday for 3 weeks. This is great for all agents that are just looking to really focus on lead generating and boosting their business. So if you'd like more information and to sign up, contact our productivity coach, Matt Brown, and he'll give you everything you need. Lynn will be doing a Command Your Opportunities class this Wednesday evening at 5 o'clock. So if you have any questions about opportunities, anything like that, make sure to tune in. That Zoom link is in the calendar link invite, and we'll send that out shortly before it starts as well. We have our Shift Book Club Thursdays at 9 o'clock. If you need a copy of the book, you can purchase. And actually, I think I have a free copy, PDF version, and you can also get it on Audible for free, I believe, if you through Amazon, and I can show you how to get that link if you'd like. In Shift Book Club, you can jump in at any point. If you haven't been on, you can jump in any Thursday and just make sure that you've read the pages that they're going to be discussing during the book club. Next week, Tuesday, we have our Shift team meeting with James Shaw. Fridays, at least for the month of April, possibly May, we're going to have virtual happy hours where we'll just be together and chat and share our success stories for that week. That'll be happening Fridays at 4, except for this Friday. Our office will technically be closed for the Easter holiday. However, we are always going to be available by phone and email. So if anything does come up, please let us know so we can assist you. Bold Pivot is coming in May. And for those of you that haven't heard about this, it's kind of a no-brainer, and I think everybody should be signing up for this. And they actually just launched it, so it's going to be a little bit different, and there's no limit to the number of seats. It's only $99 to attend Bold Pivot, which I believe is now going to be 2 days a week. I don't know if someone's on the call that can correct me. I read it very quickly, but we'll be sending out more information today about the new changes for Bold Pivot starting in May as well. And then, of course, there's always live training and on-demand training about Shift, technology, and just building your business on KW Connect. So to check those out, go to kwconnect.com. Some really quick updates. CE is due. It is due Tuesday, June 30th, but we always recommend to everybody to complete your CE 2 weeks prior, because the companies that you're taking your CE through, they have a 2-week time window to submit your CE credits to Pulse Portal. So make sure to have all of your CE done by June 16th. We do have a really great relationship with the CE shop. They offer discount codes daily. So you can go to our affiliate link with the CE shop to finish your Wisconsin and Minnesota CE. And then on the third Wednesday of every month, for that one day, they offer 40% off. So great time to get your CE done. Your required module can be taken online as well. Your SPAR dues are due for anybody that hasn't paid them yet. And SPAR did give us a 2-week grace period for any late dues. So make sure to log in and get that paid as soon as you can. All regional trainings and events have been postponed for April and May. And Red Day is still happening on Thursday, May 14th. I'm really excited. We have some really great activities being planned, and I just sent a post-it email. I'm looking for help with planning these activities just because we're running low on time. So if anyone would like to join the planning committee and help me with those details, I would greatly appreciate it. And last but not least, a very warm and exciting welcome to our new agents in March, Sarah Lee, Tracy Saloka, Lidra Yang, Mandy Delmedico, and AJ Tao. And I know some of you are on the call today, so welcome you guys. It's so great to have you with us, and we look forward to virtually and hopefully soon meeting you. And without further ado, I would love to hand over the call to Jordan Davis, who is with us today to talk about Keller Mortgage. And if you guys have any questions for Jordan while she's going through her presentation, again, please submit those via chat and we'll get to those at the very end.
Awesome, thank you.
Hi, Jordan. Do you just want to introduce yourself really quick?
Yeah, you'll have to get out of screen share.
Yep, I'm working on that.
Perfect. My name is Jordan Davis. I run the Davis team in Arlington, Texas. We serve all of Dallas-Fort Worth. And I think it's important to know that I am an agent. I don't work for Keller Williams. I don't work for Keller Mortgage. But I am an agent. I run a team, and we'll see them in just a minute. And we have successfully used Keller Mortgage in our business to convert leads and protect our GCI. So I want to take you guys through how we're doing that and just share that with you real quick. Share screen. And so what I'm going to do is take you through our presentation that I usually teach live, and I'm grateful to be able to take this to you virtually, especially with everything with coronavirus. So the class that I teach is called Convert More Leads and Increase Your GCI Using Keller Mortgage. And I'm going to take you, this is normally about an hour-long class. I'm going to take us through it in about 30 minutes. It's a little bit easier when we're able to walk through it virtually. This is information about our team. Last year we closed $50 million in production, which is 187 units with this team. It was my 6th year in real estate, and 40 of those transactions used the 0+ loan program that is offered through Keller Mortgage. That was able to save $186,000 in client savings for our clients. For 3 years in a row, our team holds the record for the most savings utilized through Keller Mortgage. And so a little bit of information about our team. We do have an inside sales team. We have our outside sales team that we call the agents. And then we also have an operations team that you see here. Valencia is the VP of our inside sales with an outside calling agent. And then we also have all of our agents that are external. With myself included, there are 6 of us. Kelly and Brian are new to the team as of December and January of this last year. And so a lot of what we accomplished last year was just with 4 of us as agents. And then we have an operations team that we'll talk a little bit about as we talk about our open house process and how we do that. Keller Mortgage is a lender that's been in business over 15 years. The savings that they are offering is no origination, no underwriting, and no processing fees, plus $1,000 credit at closing. This is really important to know as people talk about the 0+ loan program, and we're kind of dull on hearing the word savings, understanding what is the savings that we're actually talking about when we talk about Keller Mortgage. So the no underwriting, no processing, and no origination fee, we're going to dive into exactly what those are and how much money they're saving your clients in just a minute. They do offer competitive rates. My family and I accidentally bought a house last year. And we just made an offer on a home that had been on the market 2 years, and the seller accepted, so we moved. We sold both. My dad and I sold both of our homes, and we moved into 2 homes on 1 property. But that's to say we also refinanced 3 homes, or bought 2 investment properties and refinanced 1 home in that same year. And on all 4 transactions, we quoted 3 lenders, and every single time Keller Mortgage came out lowest in credit score and lowest in lender fees. They do loans all the way down to $60,000 and then all the way up to $3 million. They used to have a minimum credit score of 600. However, it can be, right now I've heard 620, and I've also heard rumors that they're moving up to 660. But traditionally, in normal times, 600 is their minimum credit score. So that's definitely something that you would want to contact a loan officer there and find out what they're looking at. It is available to Keller Williams buyers and the buyers on our listings. It's also available to our friends and family, and it's available to us as agents. If you look here, there's a flyer here, Keller Mortgage, a better deal, a better experience. This flyer is what we put in our listing when we talk about the special financing available. I'll dive into that when we're talking about the open houses, but this is the flyer that I'm going to reference later. So how much are they saving our clients? Origination fee is 1% of the loan amount. So for example, if we have a purchase price of $300,000 and the seller is putting down 10%, that means they're financing $270,000. Origination fee is 1% of the amount they're financing, making the origination fee $2,700. Underwriting and processing fee, pretty standard across the board. They're anywhere from $1,200 to $1,800. But so we assume $1,500 for this calculation. And then again, $1,000 credit for loans over $150,000. And because this loan is for $270,000, it meets that threshold, and therefore the $1,000 credit is given. This is how we come up with saving $5,200 for a $300,000 property. Anybody have questions on that? Easy enough. That may be something that you want to take a picture of, is how we calculate that savings. Screenshot or take a picture with your phone, and that will help you in calculating your savings later on. Okay, so our goal for today is to transition from thinking of Keller Mortgage as a lender to really thinking of them as a tool in our toolbox. They're not a one-size-fits-all, and not everybody is a perfect fit for Keller Mortgage, and that's okay. They really prefer, a buyer that's in the box. But if it helps you go out and get business because of it, then it was a success, right? Even if it doesn't work for them and it's an opportunity for your other local lender. So we're going to talk about marketing the product to drive more leads, scripts to converting the leads, scripts for overcoming commission objections, and then lastly, we'll get into action today. You will also receive these scripts. I will email them to your market center so that they can distribute it to everybody who is in attendance today. Some of the ways that we're marketing the savings to bring in more leads is through door knocking. And so specifically, we will target renters and talk to them about a new listing that's on the market and how we can help them save money with Keller Mortgage. Many times they're transient. They are moving. They don't know how long they're going to be in DFW. Well, we know that DFW is a great market for rentals, and their home values will continue to go up year over year, probably much like Minnesota where you guys are. And so we want to educate them on why this could be a great investment for the long run and how we're going to help them get their property rented out when they do have to move on to their next place of work. But it's always a good idea to buy property instead of renting it and hang on to it for a while. Additionally, maybe they have an issue with their credit. They've had a foreclosure or something in the past. That could be a great opportunity for another lender, probably not going to be a fit for Keller Mortgage. They don't really have the capacity to long-term keep up with leads. However, your local lender would probably appreciate that if they can get an opportunity to work with them. And now you've had an in that allows you to start having conversations with that person helping them. Additionally, we will talk to them about just, if it's a single mom, maybe like my mom, who by the time she saves for down payment, she just really doesn't have that closing cost. That's what Keller Mortgage is there for, because they waive all of those. So by the time people save that 3.5% or 5%, it can be really hard when there's an additional 1.5% to 2% in closing costs. We also add sign writers. In fact, if you look to the right, it says special financing. That is our sign writer that gets the most calls. We did a side-by-side analysis. So special financing actually increased sign calls by 20% over what we were getting, as opposed to not having any sign writers. A lot of times people think this means owner financing. I don't care if they think it means special, owner financing, or they know the special financing. I just want them to call me so we can have a conversation, because once they get on the phone with a realtor that knows what they're talking about, they can point them in the right direction. But when people start searching online, that's when you really get into trouble of people, quote unquote, trying to find solutions for you. And it could end up costing them thousands. Here are some ways that we market the savings to bring in more leads with open houses. We have seen an increase of traffic of 15%. And what we do is we go into MLS and we put special financing available in the public description. Now, we had to get approval from our board to do this, and you would as well. If one person from your market center would want to do this, I would highly encourage them, go and ask your board of realtors if you can put in the public description that special financing is available. it's no different than if your seller offered owner financing. They have paid you and you have procured a company that would offer special financing available. And so it's the same as offering owner financing because it is available to every buyer and regardless of whether they work with a Keller Williams agent or not, just because simply you're on one side of it. So we've put this special financing available in all of our public descriptions, which goes out and syndicates to all the third-party portals. We also put this saving signs around our open house, save blank on this home, call us today to start saving thousands. So we go back to that calculation and calculate, okay, for this $250,000 home, we've got 10% down, $225, $1,500. So $2,250 in origination fee, $1,500 in underwriting and processing, plus another $1,000 in that it does meet that $150,000 threshold. And suddenly we're going to be saving $4,750. And so we can save $4,750 on this home by doing our calculation. This is a 3-foot by 2-foot sign that we put in the ground right next to the front porch of our open house because I want to let people know we're going to be talking about the savings. I want them to ask me about the savings. Additionally, we shrink it down to an 8.5 by 11, put it on the master bathroom cabinet, and we also put it on the kitchen countertop so that people see the special financing available again once they enter the home. Because by the time they enter the home, they've forgotten about that sign that was at the front door. That's long gone. And now they're on to other things, right? And to me, you know, I always compare open houses, like people, it's almost like going shopping. You just totally lie about the reason you're there. You try to ditch the salesperson anytime you're shopping, whether it's jeans or jackets or whatever you're looking for. But then you need to try on something, you need the dressing room, and that salesperson holds that key and they can keep you or allow you into it. They're the key to that door, right? To me, that's what Keller Mortgage is to us, is they're the key to that door for what the buyer wants. They want that savings. So suddenly they want to talk to you. You're the most popular person in the room. We also put it on just listed postcards and our social media ads. Additionally, we will take a picture of the buyer at the walkthrough. We take a picture of them by themselves, and then we ask if we can take a picture of them. We take a picture with this blank sign. This is also a 2-foot by 3-foot sign. We just saved blank with the 0+ loan program, offered exclusively to clients of the Davis team and Keller Williams. And we will superimpose the savings on there, so you can actually create a text box in your picture later on. So we have them hold the blank sign, and then we put the number that they saved in there along with the client testimonial, and we put that on our team page and sponsor that ad. So when I tell them that they're going to save money, they don't believe me because nobody believes anymore that you save money. It's kind of like that shopping example when you go home and that woman says, honey, you'll never believe how much money I saved at this mall today. And the husband says, but how much money would you have saved had you not gone, right? So kind of the same thing. Nobody believes the word savings anymore. But when a client gives a testimonial and talks about the money that they saved, suddenly it's more believable. We've also done bridal and craft expos. This is an example of ours. We had a bunch of giveaways, registered 150 people, set 12 appointments. We set 5 appointments, and we had 12 nurtures that said on the spot, yes, I need to buy a home. Yes, I need to sell a home. That we have follow-ups for. So that was a huge success. And what we did is we printed the savings of Keller Mortgage on business cards. We printed it on koozies and gave away free water, and people walked around. Water was $3 a pop there. And so people just walked around with our koozies and water bottles that talked about the savings available. Koozies are something that people actually keep, especially, I don't know about y'all, but in the South, people keep koozies all the time and kind of collect them randomly. And so that's awesome because that's like a business card they actually want to keep around. It just doesn't just go in a drawer that gets filed away. So we talked about the savings that's available. I know I've told you on average we saved our clients $5,000. This says $2,500. I just was, Keller Mortgage was still really new, and they didn't have a lot of regulation around what we could print and things like that. And I didn't want to bite off more than I could chew. So I went conservative and put $2,500 on there. But you can certainly put $5,000. On the back, it just said when you utilize Keller Mortgage to purchase your next home. So So once we do have buyers that are asking us about Keller Mortgage because we've advertised to them and they say, what is this product? We're just saying it's no origination, no underwriting, no processing fee, plus $1,000 credit at closing on a home that you're standing in. That would save you about $5,000. What would your family do with an extra $5,000 at closing? So we try to make that very personal. Like, hey, this is money for you in your pocket. What would that do for you? Also, appraisal's ordered day one, and if for some reason you can't close, then you don't pay for that appraisal. So you can literally go ahead and order the appraisal the moment that you go under contract. And if you end up falling through with option period or something like that, or the home doesn't appraise, there's no risk from the appraisal fee standpoint. You don't have to pay it back, which I think is really cool. In multiple offers, that can be a really great thing to offer is, hey, my lender will order appraisal day one. They're not going to wait until the option period. We have option in Texas. You guys may call that like an inspection period, where you have your inspections and things like that. Okay. In Texas, it's called option. So we tell them that basically by the time option period's over, a couple more days, and we'll have that appraisal back. And if you choose our offer, the seller can move on with confidence, knowing that the home not only has passed the inspections, but it's also passed the appraisal, and they know exactly what they're going to net on this home. So that can make an offer very powerful with ordering the appraisal the first day. We also talk about it with our listings. In fact, let me find our listing presentation. All right, let me stop screen share for just a minute and I will show you guys our listing presentation. So this is our seller success guide that goes out and our listing presentation that's in it. In our listing presentation, I like to just show people that I put my money where my mouth is, and it's literally in our seller success guide or pre-listing packet. So they're getting information about Keller Mortgage, and we're going to be talking about Keller Mortgage at the listing presentation. This is the benefits of Keller Mortgage from a seller standpoint. It says negotiate without compromise. And basically, I am revving up for the conversation that I have around protecting my commission, talking about how, you know, for example, if somebody says, hey, would you drop your commission because I'm buying and selling with you? That objection handler, and I've got a script for it that you guys will get, is basically, can you tell me what's important about that to you? Okay, many people that choose me are just like you. They want to save money. And I completely appreciate that. If I can tell you a way that I can save you more money on working with me, then it would, if I just discounted my commission, would it make sense to go ahead and sign the paperwork? Okay, great. So I can exclusively offer you access to Keller Mortgage with the origination underwriting processing fee that they're going to waive for you, plus $1,000 credit at closing. When you buy that $300,000 house, it's going to save you $5,200, Mr. Seller. Now, if I reduce my commission by 1% on your listing, that would only save you $2,000. So already $5,200 is more than double the $2,000 that this other agent has offered to save you. Additionally, Mr. Seller, if you go ahead and sign tonight, I'll make this a listing, this opportunity available on your listing. And that means buyers that are in the market can take advantage of the savings that's available through Keller Mortgage. And so what's going to happen is they're not going to be asking you to cover their closing costs. And if they do, we're going to combat that with offering them a lender who waives all lender fees. And so on a home of $200,000 that you're selling, that's going to save you approximately $4,200. That other agent offered to save you $2,000 just by negotiating with and coming down on what they take home to their family. What do you think they're going to do with your home's equity? Do you think they're going to negotiate and try to make sure that they protect you? Or do you think that they're just going to let it go? I've already shown you how I can save you $9,400 up to $9,400 as opposed to dropping my commission to $2,000. And you know that I'm going to be a bulldog for your home's equity. Would you like to sign in blue or in black? So that's our script for that. I had the opportunity last year at Family Reunion to be on stage with Gary Keller. Let me see. Doing that script, which was a lot of fun and a real blessing, taking him through that script of, and he followed through like a seller would, that we're going to show you how we can save you more money than you would just by reducing our commission and what we take home to our family. So sphere and past clients, this is a great thing that you can talk about, is calling your sphere and past clients. I love that you guys were talking about care calls in your team meeting, because we're doing a lot of those care calls too. And people are very concerned if they currently have a job, but they're just not sure about the future, or things are a little bit unstable. They may want to look at refinancing and doing like a cash out equity loan. I know they've capped that at like $50,000, but $50,000 can go a long way for a family in 6 or 12 months. So that could certainly be something that if people are just really concerned about the economy, we could take a look at, what would refinancing and pulling out your equity do for your family? Or what if you refinanced and pulled out your equity and you use that to pick up one of these great deals that are going to come on the market for people who are in a distressed situation and will be selling soon? So how can we get equity out of your house so that you have cash? Because anytime you're in a recession and you have cash, you are king, right? So they can get the same savings on refinancing. They can do updates and upgrades to their home. They can refinance and pull the equity out to purchase an investment property. If nothing else, if they just say, no thanks, we're good, we're going to stay put. Okay, great. Who else do you know that I can help buy or sell or invest in real estate and save unnecessary lender fees? So already you've come from contribution and you're asking for that referral. I had a friend who took me up on this. She renovated her home, paid off student loans, and still had money to save to put 20% down on an investment property. And she borrowed, she took out $80,000 in her equity loan, or when she refinanced and pulled out her equity, she saved $80,000. Additionally, she saved $4,000 on the refinance and $4,000 when she purchased. That's 10% of what her hard-earned equity that she was pulling out. So suddenly 80,000 would have gone to 70,000, and she wouldn't have had the 20% she needed for that investment property. And that's a big difference, and that's a great thing to point out of the value of Keller Mortgage. Some people feel funny about other lender relationships. I think the important thing is just to sit with them and let them know that this is a lead generation tool. And if you use it properly, you'll actually see more opportunities and more leads convert, especially those like open house ones. The National Association of Realtors says that if someone shops open houses, they go on average to 11 open houses throughout the cycle of purchasing a home. And so we have to say something different than those other 10. Well, I think, hey, I can save you $5,000 really helps you stand out. And even if they don't fit into the box of Keller Mortgage, I mean, how awesome is it that you just converted that person, and maybe the other lender is a little bit more, but they're going to be able to do, that state-run loan, or that firefighter teacher loan that they're looking for, that physician loan that they're looking for. So that can be a great tool to get them in, and just let your lender know that you think there's going to be an opportunity for more leads, and that's going to equate to more business for them too, because they're going to get more shots at the business, and not everybody fits within the box that is Keller Mortgage. You've always provided 2 names of lenders to your people because that's what we're required to do. And now the other one is just going to be Keller Mortgage. So there will be no shortage of leads. In fact, we see more leads coming through. And if your lender is competitive, and I told him, I know you're competitive like me, and we're going to go get more business with this. They are continuing to lab this, and they do have things that are new. So there is a dial for adjusting your pre-approval letter. For example, Steve, you're on my screen now. If Steve's approved for $500,000, but Steve's not comfortable at $500,000, he and his wife are thinking about retirement, and they really would like to be around $350,000. You can dial the pre-approval down to $350,000 and PDF it and send it. So you can always dial down. Of course, I can't approve Steve for $800,000, right? Because he's only been approved for $500,000. But I can dial it down to $350,000. And let's say we get in a bidding war and we end up negotiating at $360,000 and we settle there. Most of the time you would have to wait for the lender to get back in the office on Monday to write you that new pre-approval. But with Keller Mortgage and your portal online, you can just dial it up to $360,000, hit PDF, send the new pre-approval letter at $360,000. So I think that's really powerful, not to show all of your buyers cards for what they're fully pre-approved for without having to bug the loan officer. You also get Kelly notifications that loans have funded or people have applied. I've actually had friends apply through Facebook posts, and I never even knew they were thinking about refinancing. It just came through a notification through Kelly. And then also you can choose your own loan officer. So if you have one that you know, love, and trust, you can send it to them, set them out in your portal as your primary, and it will send them directly to them. And if you don't know a loan officer, I would really encourage you to get on the Keller Mortgage Facebook page where other loan officers are. And actually, you will get to chat with loan officers that are licensed in your state. You can Facebook stalk them. If you want somebody who also has kids, great. You can find somebody who has kids. If you want somebody who has no kids because you know they're going to be a workaholic, great. Go find somebody with whatever it is, right? If you want somebody that's in state, if you don't care if they're out of state, you just want somebody who people like just have raving reviews about, whatever it is, you can certainly find it through there. So in order to get into your portal, you can go through mykw.kw.com. You can also go into your Kelly and tell me, Kelly, show me my pre-approval link, or take me to my Keller Mortgage Agent portal. But you all have a Keller Mortgage Agent portal. You can also just log into kellermortgage.com, click Agent, and type in your KW user ID and password. However you get into mykw.kw.com, that is your same username and password for Keller Mortgage. It will take you to your personalized portal. If you want to share it with a contact, you just input the customer's contact information and click Share. It also provides your pre-approval link. I highly advise that you save that link and put it in the notes of your phone or something like that, so that if you have somebody that on the fly is ready to get pre-approved, you can share that link via text with them. You can also go through your KW app. However, you have to click on the home, on a home, and get pre-approved there. They've really kind of hidden it. It used to be very obvious, and now it's kind of hidden on that app. Also, if you do have issues, you can call customer service. I can't say that every deal goes perfect, and sometimes there are hiccups. So this is customer service line in case you need it, 888-766-2678. There's also a contact us or a SOS, save our ship button on your Keller Mortgage portal. All of your clients will be on that Keller Mortgage portal. And you can see here where it says deals. And if you assign it to a team member, as long as you add that team member and sync your Keller Mortgage portals, you'll be able to see the status of their updates too. So if you had a team member that was having a baby and she went out on leave with her baby, you could log into your Keller Mortgage portal and see where her deals are and how far they are on getting pre-approved and what lender they've been assigned to, so you can pick up where they left off. Okay, that's it for me. So y'all are welcome to unmute yourself. And what questions do you have? Yes, there are lenders that speak Spanish. I do not know if they're licensed in Minnesota. That question came across. Are there lenders that speak Spanish and are licensed in Minnesota? I would highly recommend that you get on the Keller Mortgage Facebook group and find out if a Spanish-speaking lender is licensed in Minnesota. I think they have 3 or 4 on staff. Any other questions? I'm cool sitting in silence. Go ahead.
I typed it.
Oh, you typed it. Competitive rates.
How come? Yeah.
So at the very beginning, I was talking about accidentally buying a house that my parents and I bought, sold both of our houses and bought this house that had been on the market 2 years. At the time, we also refinanced his house to keep it as a rental, and last year we bought 2 investment properties. So we did 4 loans with them. All 4 times they beat every lender. Like, I'm talking our lender that knows, loves, and trusts us, does all kinds of deals with us. They beat them in rates and in lender fees. So they've been very competitive. And now they do sell the loans. I don't know if you're familiar with the difference of the credit scores that are being required to go up. They are part of that because anybody who sells the loan has to find a buyer for the loan, and buyers of loans are wanting security, and that's why they're having the higher credit scores right now. Keller Mortgage does sell them, so they're going to be partaking in the higher credit scores. So you definitely want to call and find out, hey, does this impact my client? Do I have typed Keller Mortgage scripts? Yes, I said earlier in the call that I'm happy to share those. I'll share them with your market center, and they can email them to everybody that joined the call if that works with you guys. So I'm happy to share those, Andrew. Can you state again the site you were on? What was that an app or access from the KW app? The website I was on was a website, kellermortgage.com, and you can log in agent, go click agent, and you use your KW user ID and password to log in. So mine, to log into mykw.kw.com, same user ID and password is there, or go to my KW and you can find the Keller Mortgage portal through there. But that was a portal that I was on.
So I have a question. If when you're talking about the savings and then you compare it to what a typical lender would charge, so I did a little thing on a spreadsheet of mine for a $200,000 sales price with 5% down. The savings are $4,400. So then what might a typical lender charge for a $190,000 loan? Is that where, like, the 3%, or how do I compare it to what another lender might charge?
The other lender would charge that additional $4,400. The savings you've calculated is what the other lender would charge.
Okay, but so that's the savings. So then, like, what would be the total fees for a loan of 190?
So a loan of 190,000, what would a typical lender charge for fees?
That, and like what is Keller Mortgage charging?
So typically in a transaction, you're going to have your escrow fees, things like that. You're going to have your prepaids. They can't waive prepaids, obviously. So there's almost minimal to no charges. They're going to charge for appraisal. But I mean, they are eliminating, that's why it's called the 0+ loan, because it's zero lender fees. So,
I mean, I have done a few deals this year. I'm just trying to, if I put something out there on social media or whatever marketing, I think it would be helpful to have a side-by-side of, like, this is what Keller Mortgage charged, this is what a typical lender would charge.
I would go to a traditional lender that you have that charges an origination fee, or go to one of those Quicken Loans and ask for a good faith estimate or fee statement, as you like, that you have a pending contract, and get them to quote what their charges would be, and then Keller Mortgage, and look at them side by side and look at what the savings would be. Yeah, because a lot of people will do that too, and they'll say, well, I can meet that rate, and they'll charge the fees, right? And so when you really look at them side by side, like you're saying, yes, it's effective. But the savings that we've talked about, origination, underwriting, processing fee, plus the $1,000 credit, that is what they're saving over traditional lenders. Most traditional lenders charge all those lender fees. Hopefully that helps.
Can I chime in about that? Jane, we actually have some flyers. We might be out at the St. Paul office that kind of has a chart that compares Keller Mortgage to some other typical lender fees and rates that you might see. So next time I'm at Roseville, I'll grab another handful and I'll bring some down to the Highland Park office for you.
Yeah, I do have those.
Okay, is that what you're talking about, or?
I don't think so. Jane, I just kind of responded on the side. You're thinking of like mortgage registration tax and the title company and the title fees.
And the prepaid.
And all Keller Mortgage is talking about is just what the lender exactly charges. So that there are still closing costs involved.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why they're saying if you got a side by side, you might be able to compare better.
Okay, yeah, because like I want to understand what are the closing costs.
And that's why we're really careful not to say no closing costs. We say no lender fees, because as you know, there is a difference.
Yeah.
What else? Any other questions?
Jane, look at one of your settlement statements and just take a highlighter and go down it. And you can pretty easily see what was directly charged by the lender versus like the appraisal and everything else that is still going to be out there.
I think
So
Keller
they're
Mortgage,
saying that $1,000 will help pay some of that, but it won't cover all of it.
and Keller Mortgage goes ahead and writes in the normal fee and puts like waived and zeroes it out, which can be helpful as well when they, because on their settlement statements, at least the ones that we've seen here, they will go ahead and put the fee in and put waived. So you actually see the savings that was waived. Was there anything that you guys, how much volume did you do through Keller Mortgage in 2019? We did 40 units with Keller Mortgage in 2019, 40 units in 2018, and 40 units in 2017 with them. So did anybody take anything from today that you would want to share that you're like, yes, I can actually go implement this? I know open houses is a little bit hard because everything's having to be virtual. But was there anything that you guys would want to share that was a takeaway from this? Maybe implement now or when we're out of quarantine?
I think this is a really great opportunity to help people, because I think a lot of people that are in this crisis and this pandemic right now are looking to save money. So starting a campaign on how people can save money with Keller Mortgage and still be lead generating through this time. So that's something that I took away, that I'm going to be something, I'll share some of that verbiage with my agents, with some of the social media posts that are on kellermortgage.com as well.
Yeah, Andrew asked about that too on the chat, and that has been a widely talked about idea. And the Keller Mortgage Facebook page has a lot of the verbiage that people are having success with in running ads. I think now more than ever with the economy, that people are looking to save money, and suddenly people are going to be pinching pennies and questioning things even more as economic factors are changing and people aren't making as much money. So it'll be really interesting how this savings comes into the fold. But yeah, information was helpful in breaking it down to the clients who are overwhelmed with loan applications. Yeah, absolutely. And then, so as far as boosting ads, boosting Facebook ads, yes, we've run boosted Facebook ads. We do that we actually do that through Brivity, that will run those ads, and we have average $5,000 savings per client, etc. Any other ahas or questions? Awesome. Well, thank you guys for having me. Oh, thank you. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
if you guys have any questions,
so much for joining us.
Yeah, my information was at the beginning of that slide. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to text me, Facebook me. It's Jordan Elizabeth Davis on Facebook. Apparently there's a ton of Jordan Davises. So you can find me there, and you can also email me at jordan@yourdavisteam.
Thank you. Very helpful.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Thank you so much, Jordan.
I'll send you the scripts and the slides.
Okay, sounds good, and I'll send those out to everybody.
What, Jane?
Are you going to send out the recorded meeting?
Yes. Yep, I will send that out as well.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thanks.